So first of all, thank you so much for taking time to join us today. So we are truly excited to have such an amazing audience with us for this session. We are excited to have all of you join us for what promises to be highly insightful and future focused session. Yeah. Today's webinar is going to be extremely insightful, especially for professionals looking to understand how modern cloud and DevOps practices are transforming the way organizations build, deploy, and scale technology. So I'll give you the webinar context now. In today's fast moving digital landscape, businesses are constantly looking for ways to accelerate software delivery, improve scalability and reliability, and adopt smarter automation driven engineering practices. So, and that's how exactly we will be exploring today. So today's session will focus on how AI powered DevOps agents are transforming modern software delivery and operations on AWS. We will explore how solutions like Amazon Q Developer help engineering teams accelerate deployment, simplify CI/CD automation, improve observability, and reduce operational overhead through intelligent automation. So, by the end of the session, participants will gain practical insights into adopting AI-driven DevOps practices to improve efficiency, scalability, and operational reliability in enterprise environments. We will discuss not just the tools, technologies, but also practical enterprise strategies, real-world implementation approaches, and how AI-driven DevOps is reshaping modern engineering ecosystems. So before we going ahead, a quick introduction from my side. So this is Tanushrия. I'm working as a senior manager and I'm representing Pioneer Business Solutions. So Pioneer Business Solutions is one of India's largest in corporate training, enterprise learning, and workforce transformation, helping organizations build future ready, high performing teams through customized learning and development solutions. So we have from past 2015, we have partnered with 500 plus enterprise clients nationwide. So our expertise spans into corporate training, leadership development, HR services, and AI related training programs. So and with a strong network certified trainers and industry experts, we deliver both instructor led training and self paced learning solutions tailored to the unique business requirement of each client. Yeah, we believe every organization has different upskilling, reskilling needs. That is why our programs are designed during a modern micro approach supported by cutting edge original digital this thing. 300 plus technology courses, 500 plus certifications, 200K learners trained and certified. So we are partnered with 10 plus years of experience, 3000 plus technology courses, 500 certification courses. We have DevOps, cybersecurity, digital transformation, leadership development. We have successfully collaborated with organizations such as Tata Group, Capgemini, Wipro, HCL, Senegal Networks, SPF Pharma, and several Fortune 500 enterprise across the industries. And also, we are proudly partnered with leading global technology providers like Microsoft, AWS, Red Hat, IBM, ServiceNow, Google Cloud, and AI Search. It's a truly pleasure to host today's session, and we are excited to have all of you with us this valuable learning experience. So now it gives me a great pleasure to introduce our speaker for today is Mr. Satish S. He is an experienced cloud and DevOps professional specializing in AWS cloud and CI/CD automation infrastructure as code observability and reliability engineering. With expertise in integrating AI-driven solutions into DevOps ecosystem, Satish helps business improve efficiency, simplify workflows, and enhance operational reliability. As a certified cloud consultant and technology expert, he brings a strong combination of technical expertise and real-world industry experience. So by the end of the day, By the end of the day, today's session, I'm sure all of you will walk away with practical insights into modern cloud DevOps architectures, real world enterprise use cases and best practices, and a clearer understanding of how automation and AI can enhance DevOps outcomes. So, without taking much more time, let's get started. It's my pleasure to hand over the session to Mr. Satish.
Team, hi Tanu, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. So, over to you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for briefing and a little bit of introduction about me.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me get started without much delay. The timing is quite post lunch. Bear with me for some time, guys. But I'll make it as much as effective as possible by bringing such examples and other details. This is not getting minimized. Okay. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining Pioneer Business Solutions. Thank you for joining me. Today, I want to show you something that is fundamentally changing how the operations team is working. For the last 2 decades, when something breaks in production, we everybody we used to jump into the war room on call. Nowadays, Teams chat and all. We spend hours investigating. We check metrics, which we read logs, we correlate the data manually. And I'm going to show you that same scenario, but with AI based AWS DevOps agent. And I'm going to show you real examples from a production like application, which we have been running. There, we will cover, or I'm planning to cover, the real cost of the incident. Cost means the time with whatever we are spending, the real amount of time we are spending on the investigation of the incident, which we have the actual numbers from the demo, and the AWS DevOps agent, how it works. Two actual incident I'm going to create, mimic, or I would say simulate. So I'll show you how the agent would understand this. Okay. With all these things, what this means for you and your team and your career and your business, we will continue to discuss of this. So as Tanu was addressing, by end of this session, you won't just understand DevOps agent, but you'll have seen and find a real root cause in few seconds. And my motive is to bring the awareness to you guys so that you change the way you look at things, your perspective change. Let's not read everything in detail. Read it in the conceptual manager, while AI is always acts as a buddy for you to take things ahead. Okay. The problems are there, guys. That's why we have jobs. Problems are very much essential. So let me describe what we actually saw when we were working on this application. So we built one real-time application. I'll quickly bring that on the screen, which is broken right now. The application is called as student enrollment. Okay. And it is running on Elastic Container Services. I may use some words, guys, which may sound like Greek and Latin for you. Kindly make a note of it. And at the end of the session, I'll brief you if you are finding it difficult to digest it. Okay. The app which I have for you is Student Enrollment System, which is currently running on ECS, Elastic Container Service, with a backend called DynamoDB. The application is containerized, load balanced, and monitored at the same time. I would be deliberately triggering two incidents to show how investigation works. Let's get that thing in place. Okay. This is broken. I'll pause the slides now. We will go through the theory after some time. Let me show you what is the application which I have for you. So as a DevOps engineer, what is my role? There are a lot of developers. They will build the application logic. Either they will put the code into the GitHub, or they will create an image and give it to me, or they will put it in one registry, which is Elastic Container Registry, a Docker Hub. So me as a DevOps engineer or SRE, I will configure that particular code in the target environment to run as expected. That's my job, to make sure it runs every time, highly available, self-healing. That's all my job. Monitor it, give you the feedback, all those things. So right now I have one application, and that is currently configured to the load balancer. And this load balancer has a DNS name. Okay. So somebody in my organization, they are trying to access it. It says 503 service temporarily unavailable. Okay. So now what? This is where my action starts. As soon as somebody says, okay, Satish, your application is something not available. Just why don't you take a look? So what I used to manually do, first of all, I'll check the target groups, whether I have the right people in the backend. There are no targets. Okay. Then I'll go where it is hosted. It is hosted in ECS. I'll go to the cluster and I'll check. Okay. I have the cluster. Oh, cluster is not around. Okay. Let me create the cluster. It should not take much time. And from there, I'll start continuing. Now what I'll do, I'll pick up my load balancer ID and I'll go to DevOps agent. This DevOps agent is known as a frontier agent. That means this agent can talk to or work with some other agents, and it can bring a solution for your challenges. So if you happen to go to this interface, you should create one space. You should create an agent space, provide a name. Okay. And select the language which you are comfortable with and add some tags and just start creating. And you can give the access to only one service, EC2, for example. You can give access to only one account, entire account. That's up to you. What is that you are planning to do? So in my case, I have given access to my entire account. You can also add some other accounts and different telemetries where you have Datadog, where you have App Dynamics, you can bring it. Other pipelines, you can add Azure DevOps, communications, MCP servers. It's simply very much diversified. Okay. So I have my cluster here. I'll just put my application and Fargate latest. Okay, load balancing. Use an existing load balancer. Okay. I don't know, somehow it was missed. Create a new listener. I think I have one target group. Let me pick up this target group, name of it. Okay. Okay. Let me create it. Okay. That will be there in some time. But what I'll do, I'll go to this and say, I want to have an application accessible. I'll pick up this. Under this DevOps agent, I have something called as operator access. Under the operator access, it is very much similar to what we do chatting in our organization. So what I would do here, I will chat with AWS DevOps agent, and I'll go for incident response, and I'll start the discussion with it. Okay. The application which I am trying to access is not working. Okay. So what it does, since it has access to all my account, it starts working towards it. It starts investigating. And by the time it identifies, we will come to know the root cause, we will come to know the recommendation, and we'll come to know all these things. So now, while this guy does this activity, let's go and continue what we were doing. So what I deliberately did is I built one image using Mac. I have two machines, guys. One is Mac, which is my local machine, and another one is Linux. So I built one image, and this image I hosted in the ECR. This image is labeled as latest, this container image, and this image is latest as named as AMD X6, X86, something like that. So now out of this, there is a task definition created. And I have one ECS cluster. And this, using this task definition, I have created a service. And this service is being accessed by application load balancer. Okay. So now let's see. The service has two tasks which will be having incompatible latest one. This is built in Mac. That is why it is not working. So now we will understand why that is failing. So let's see. It states investigating so and so. Okay. And identified the ALB. Let me investigate the listener and let me target the health of the both target groups. Both targets should have no registered targets. I found EC2 instance and ECS cluster. I found ECS service that is named as this. I'm seeing the critical issue. ECS service has 0 running tasks. One is pending, okay, and the group is mismatch. And I have a clear picture. Let me check this security group. So this is what we manually do, guys, and it is happening within minutes. I'm telling you, 24 seconds, 33 seconds, 43 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minute symptom. This application is inaccessible via ALB on port number 80. Okay. The ALB returns error because the port 80 listener forwards traffic to so-and-so has 0 registered targets. So these are some findings. Now, load balancer port number 80 routes empty targets to group instead of ECS registered target group. Okay. ALB security group blocks the internal access to 5000 port. Okay, these are some findings, guys, which we manually used to perform. Okay, now let me document the root cause. This is what we used to arrive after a day or two, which is happening within 2 minutes. Okay, the fundamental misconfiguration needs to be fixed. Target group mapping is misconfigured. Port number 80 can't reach ECS application. Okay, so I can ask the steps. Kindly share me the high level steps to fix this. Okay. It's like you're asking your senior. It's like you're asking your subordinate. The agent is very much like your coworker. Of course, there are already products called coworker. You can have Anthropic Cowork. That's one of the things. So now what happened? Post-corona, guys, people started working remotely from any place, and it becomes difficult for new joiners to get the assistance. Earlier, we used to work on the same floor, and I used to easily walk to my senior or even junior, and I used to ask, hey, what is this? Why it is not working as expected? So they used to explain me all those things. But now people are working from anywhere. I cannot say work from home. They are working from anywhere. They are working from co-working place. They're working from in-laws place, home, vehicle. You have seen recently somebody was working from the theater, multiplex. So it becomes very difficult to assume whether the person whom I'm trying to reach is really busy, occupied or not. And that creates a lot of gaps, assumptions, misunderstanding. Those kind of challenges and also fueled such kind of solution. Okay. Update the port number 80 listener, verify the security group rules, inbound rule 80, outbound rule. Okay. So check the ECS service. Okay. Let's go and do it. It's a phase one, guys. Down the line, I'll tell you, you can ask the agent to go and do it for you. It has access. You can give read-only access or you can give read-write access. So this is a version one. I don't want to influence that, but I can see the future. You can go, you can give the approval. Okay. Now go and do this 1, 2, 3, 4 step by yourself. Okay. So now I'll go to cluster. This is my cluster and this is my service, and I'll update the service and I'll see what is my service doing. It uses the definition and the desired task, grace period, load balancing. This is where we are supposed to do it. Listener is coming to HTTP 5000 and it is being redirected to 5000. Okay. Student enrollment target group. Let's open the target group and check. There are no targets. It's not able to reach. Load balancer. Okay. Target group 1, target group 2. These are the two target groups we have. Okay. Change the ALB port 80 listener, forward the traffic to student enrollment TG1. Okay. I'll go to target group. There are two listeners. One of the listener is wrongly pointing. I'll delete it. Okay. Now port number, anything which is coming to port number 80, what I'll do, I'll edit it. Edit the listener, make it to go to TG1. TG1. Okay. This is what it said. We say, let's revisit what it said. Change the ALB port number 80 listener, forward the traffic to student enrollment TG1. So what we did, anything which is coming to port number 80, it is redirecting it to student enrollment TG1. Okay. Now, before I go further ahead, The step 1 is completed. Could you check and let me know whether I can proceed for step 2? Okay, I got the update. My audio is a little low. I hope now it's good. Great. So it's digging into your environment, gathering the details. It may take some time. Okay, now these are the minutes which I want to tell you. See, the task is failed on run, check the cloud watch. You know, um, this is how monitoring alerts gets triggered. You can call the engineer and he sees the error, checks the application logs. Do you feel it happens so quickly? The user see 50% percent rate is dropping, revenue impact, engineer loses the sleep and moral impact. And people are cursing. What is this, man? Every time this application fails and it directly impacts my sleep. You know, this kind of issue that's meddling because the error message is hidden. The symptoms are vague and the root cause is in unexpected place, right? And here is what AWS agent does, which I brought you. Okay. Step 1 complete. Issues found, no targets registered. Okay. So what needs to be done before proceeding? Verify ECS service is configured or not. Okay. Let's go to ECS, our container services. This is what we did. This is my cluster and this is my service. I'll check the task. There are tasks which are stopped. I'll tell the agent found the tasks to be not running. Could you check? Okay, so industry context. What is happening in the industry? As I'm really telling you, there are a lot of people required because the technology adoption is very high. We don't have the skilled resource. Even though we get one, they are not properly enabled. So this is why DevOps agent matters for the entire industry. There's a massive storage of experienced DevOps and SRE engineers. Why? Because people don't get right kind of knowledge. First, it's very hard for work. You need to understand the platform, cloud platform, infrastructure, monitoring, networking, database. You need to be a part of architecture, part of engineer, part of detective. And the second one is on call is something which snatches your peace. It's brutal. Getting waken up at 2 a.m., then spending for 6 hours correlating the data. You cannot call anybody at 2 a.m. because you are the only guy on the on call. So it burns people very fast. On top of it, these people are expensive. Senior SRE makes really $150,000 to $200,000. That's why organizations either can't hire enough or their experienced people burn out the entire budget. So now think about the business impact every hour of the incident which happened and the investigation time, whether it's hour or more, whether the service is fully available. We are taking $5,000 plus per hour in the downtime cost. So that's not including the lost customer trust. It's an advantage for competitors. If Uber is not working, what will happen? If it doesn't work for 3 to 4 times in a day, people will uninstall it and they will install Ola. It's a loss. It's a Rapo loss. And for employee, what happens? It's a morale loss. Okay. What DevOps changes? So it automatically reduces your investigation time. Junior, mid-level engineer can now handle complex investigations. Senior engineers can become force multipliers instead of constantly firefighting. People don't burn out fast. What is the benefit for companies? You spend less on-call and you can hire slightly less experienced engineers, those who are aware of things, and incident response becomes faster and better. Now, what is in for you for your career? So you move from waking up 2 a.m. to manually investigate to have a smart tool that helps you investigate intelligently, correlate stuff, give you the RCA, and also give the steps to fix things. Let's take a look. Okay, what it does. Okay, container image architecture mismatch. I told you, right? What is that I told you? I created an image using Mac, guys. I created an image using Mac, and I'm trying to run it on the machine, which is x86. This is deliberately I did it. And finally, I started giving him, the agent, certain inputs, and it started finding the issues. Okay, this is built for ARM64, which is Mac based chipset. And now I'm trying to do is Linux. So let me go ahead and fix this and see if things starts working. So I'll go to service, guys. Before that, I'll go to task definition. And this task definition, I'll create the new version. And in this new version, what I'll do, I will go to the image and I will pick up. Let me show you the image. What is that I have? I have two images, one image with 3 tags. This is my repo, and I have one latest, which is built for ARM. I have one more thing called AMD x86. What I'll do now, I'll copy this URI. I'll travel back to my task definition and I'll put it here and I'll say save. Once I save the definition, the next job is to update my service. I'll come to the service and I'll update the service. Hey, service, there is a new version of the task definition. You go and update. In fact, this all inputs are given by agent. You see, it has given the steps. Go to your Linux machine, build the image and push it. Okay. After that, go to ECS, update the service. Okay. All these things I did it manually. Just I know uh, I have been fluent in this. I have been doing it, but anybody who's new will be having some challenges to achieve this. So that is where let's come back and see if the tasks are getting created. You see, 20 seconds back, a new service is coming. Let's wait for a minute or two. It's activating. By the time we will continue the flow of this. Okay, my laptop is not charging due to some reason. Okay, great. Now, what is this DevOps agent now? Okay, we will see exactly AWS DevOps agent is what. Let me be specific based on what we actually did right now. We have a real application, student enrollment. It runs on Elastic Container Service of AWS. It uses the DynamoDB for managing the data. It sits behind the application load balancer, the application, and we have the real CloudWatch monitoring. Whenever there is an incident happens, DevOps agent first sees the data. It pulls the CloudWatch metrics. What is happening with CPU? What is happening with memory? What is the request count? What is the error count? Latency, and then it reads application logs. Hey, what is happening with your application? It checks cloud trial also to see if anybody made manual changes. It looks like DynamoDB metrics are not really catching up. Okay. All those things it checks. And it has some manual stuffs. And we will perform one more change in some time. Okay, now it is running. Let's see. Let's go and access our application and see whether it is working or not. Okay, where is my application? This is where my application is. Super. My application is up now. So let me create some student ID. I'll say Rajesh. Okay, student ID 2026-001 Rajesh Raj at r.com something. Okay, please wait for DevOps agents to create it. Okay, it's not working. Okay, I'll pick up the error. I'll go back to my agent again. I am trying to make the entries in the application, but it is failing, getting the following error. Okay, now let's go ahead and manually find out what is this in the DynamoDB. Okay, we have indexes. The tables are there. Get API students. Okay. Let me see what my DevOps agent has come up with. Digging into your environment. Application is now running, but looks like the DynamoDB table doesn't exist. Let me check the DynamoDB. Okay. These two are available. Okay, it is giving me the command, guys. Let me go ahead and run that. I'll go inside my Linux machine and I'll run that command. Okay, it is created. Very much fine. Let me go ahead and refresh and show you whether it is created or not. So I was having 2. Now I have 3. This is the one which is recently created. And after creating the table, the application should work immediately. No need to restart the ECS service since DynamoDB access is dynamic. Okay. Okay. Now it should work. Let me go ahead and refresh this. 2026-001 Rajesh. Okay. Okay, still it is failing. It fails again. Let me share the application data. Where is the application data? Let me show you. Cat app.py. This is a huge file. Rep-I student. Where it is finding the tables. Students table. Yeah, this is something which I'll pick up, guys, to enable my agent to get some insight, because this app is running inside the container. My agent is really not having visibility for this. Okay, by the time it does some investigation, let's go ahead. Okay, we have one more simulation. We will come back in terms of monitoring. Developer workflow. What developer really does in the backend? The developer workflow doesn't really change. The job of the developer is to write the business logic. The product owner says, when somebody logs into my product, they should be able to 5,000 people placing the order at a time. This is how he functionally explains. And developer works by writing a code, by committing, by creating a pipeline, by building, and by deploying. All those things we work along with them. So application still runs on ECS with DynamoDB. So what changes is when something really goes wrong, instead of doing manual things, incident response is instant and accurate. Right? A developer who broke something immediately get identified, root cause analysis, specific code pattern that caused the issue, and clear fix instructions. So that's the visibility we get. Instead of system is slowing down and asking for help, they get your deployment introduced to N+1 query pattern, make 1,000 database calls. Here is a fix. Let's see what it does. Okay. What the app expect, what is exist. Okay. Create the tables with the names of the app expect simplest. Okay. What it is, right? Let's go ahead and do it without much delay. Now, what is it looking like in AWS DynamoDB? I'll go there and I'll refresh. You see, the actual table's namespace should be like this. So these are some mistakes which I deliberately did so that I can show you what we should tell. See, guys, first of all, there is something called as prompt engineering. You go and learn prompt engineering. It should not take more than 2 days. And the next thing, you understand cloud, how it works at a very high level. You don't have to remember the command. You don't have to remember the steps. Steps are given by them, given by the agent. But you should understand what is this DynamoDB, what is Oracle DB, what is MySQL DB, when to use Oracle, when to use MySQL, what is the cost, what is the performance, whether the application is mobile based, whether the application is server based, web based. So these things you should know so that you can ask the right question to the agent. Now let's go ahead and check if this works. Super. It works as if like cake, right? Now I will say course, economics, echo 001, economics for commerce, study capacity. Okay. Now Rajesh is already appearing here and course is already appearing here. I'll enroll the students. Super, right? How much time I took, guys, really? Okay. Now let me refresh this and create one more. 2026-001, I'll say to Rakesh, rock at bottom.com. Something. No, let's not use this. Me.com. Okay. I'll add the student. I'll add one more course. Rakesh, I'm adding it to accountancy. Refresh happened. Okay, super. I see the application is working well. Now, what we will do now, we will simulate one more thing, guys. I'll go to DynamoDB and I'll pick up any one parameter and I'll change certain details. Update the table class, replica, edit the capacity. What I'll do, I'll come to this and I'll manually change certain parameter. Getting what I am expecting. Table read capacity. Minimum 10, maximum 0. Leave and then settings, capacity, table class. Okay. And then tags. It is there in the capacity itself. I'm not finding that entries to make here. Auto scaling is off. Okay. I don't have a script to create too much of data. Auto scaling on. This will enhance the performance. Students. Point in time recovery, read write capacity. All this is helping me to increase it, decrease on demand, maximum read should be 1 to 40,000. 1 to 40,000. Save. I don't know whether this will create some challenge. Ramesh. I change it for students. So now let me go to CloudWatch, guys. CloudWatch, what it does, it helps you understand the performance. Okay. This is where I was supposed to get some red, but I have to have some heavy entries. And that is where it looks okay now. The second simulation would take some time. We're running out of time, but I was able to give the glimpse, guys, how it was able to identify the incompatibility image and also missing DynamoDB tables. Two things. Okay, let me go ahead with a couple of slides quickly. What we did infrastructure creation, and this is where actually I saw the DevOps agent work. In our demo, we provided one Elastic Container Registry image and our student enrollment API, which was kind of create DynamoDB tables. 3 DynamoDB tables are supposed to be there: student, courses, and enrollments. But what we did, we deliberately created something else. And what we did, we created a different definition with image. We created some problem at the load balancer also. And all those things, we deliberately made some blockers. So we could immediately access the application in browser. The dashboard was not available. So we reached out to agent, and how much time we spent with the agent. Did someone really what? I was talking to you guys and I was not really doing all these things by myself. But if I'm purely focusing here, it really takes nearly 2 minutes or something. You see, that's how quickly it is bringing the solution for, okay. In our case, it was 2 minutes because I took a lot of time providing the input and other stuff. Second thing, which I did, I deliberately, I wanted to change these things. Read unit and write unit. This is what I wanted to reduce, but I was not finding that option. I don't know why. And what I did, I built the image in Mac and I deployed it in Linux. That was one of the incompatibility issue first. So traditionally, by looking at the error and log, it used to take 30 to 40 minutes. DevOps agent just took few seconds. Okay, and it clearly said binary architecture mismatch. Okay, by doing this, the performance issue is very difficult to find, guys, unless until somebody complains and you have a very good monitoring system. It would have taken 2 to 3 hours because you have to go through a lot of logs, understand the pattern, do the deduplication, all those things. But AWS DevOps agent does in 10 seconds. Okay. Now, finding all those things happen very quickly. That's the difference we have. What is the impact on the organization with this? Say you have a typical team managing the cloud application. You get 4 to 5 incidents per month. Some are small incidents, some are major incidents. Small are 20 minutes incident. Major means 3 to 6 hours. Current situation in the industry, guys. Let's say average is 3 hours to investigate per incident. 5 incidents into 3 hours, 15 hours of engineer time. If you are paying $100 per hour, then you will end up paying 1,500 per month just for investigation time. But the real cost is even bigger. 3 hours to of downtime is costing you some business. Okay, that is costing some business also, downtime cost. That's where nearly 75 to 150,000 month business impact. So your engineer is stressed, losing the steam, quality of life, plus burnout means they leave. I mean, they can take leave or they can completely leave, whatever. The cost is simply getting aggravated. The same 5 incidents per month with DevOps engineer agent, what you can do, Investigation is 0.25 hours, around 50 minutes instead of 3 hours. Cost $125 per month instead of 1,500. Investigation savings is huge. It just keeps on adding. Okay. And what are the other benefits? Downtime gets reduced 90% because investigation is fast. Solution is fast. Less burnout, good retention. How do you adopt these tools in your day-to-day life? First week, you're just setting up. You create a DevOps agent space in AWS, which takes 10 minutes, and you connect to CloudWatch automatically. And you configure any third-party tools like Datadog, Azure Monitor, all those things. You don't change anything in the production. You're just wiring up the tools like your integrating, that's all. The total time is 90 minutes, guys, to do this. Phase 2, what you do, you identify 1 or 2 critical application. Maybe after 2 to 3 weeks or 3 to 4th week, identify 2 non-critical application. Maybe it is running in dev environment or something which is very less critical. You go back to the last month incident. Remember that early morning 2 o'clock incident that took really 6 hours. Pick up that particular incident. So you start feeding the instruction to DevOps agent. What really happened here? Try to understand. It does find the root cause. It does something we missed. How long it takes, all those things you understand. So this is your learning phase, guys. Zero risk because you are analyzing the historical data, development environment. Your team learns how to use the tool and you document what works. And in the phase 3, what you do, 2 to 3 months, you start integrating your actual incident response when the alert fires, and you start prompting. Okay. When your alert is appearing, you prompt DevOps agent, what's going on? Check. You might also automate this, right? When the certain alarm fires, guys, DevOps agent automatically investigates those alarms, events, posts. You can integrate this chat, guys, with your Microsoft Teams. You can integrate this with your Slack chat tool. So you expand more applications, you see more patterns, and you have 15 DynamoDB throttling incidents. So let's improve auto scaling. You start asking for improvisation. Okay. In the 4th phase, what you do over the time, it has been 3 to 4 months now. Agent keeps on learning your environment and it starts understanding the pattern in your application. It understands your specific failure patterns, models or modes. So you use this to prevent incidents rather than just investigate them. So you are enabling the agent to be more cleverer and aware of your infrastructure. So the entire culture shift happens, guys. Instead of hoping the infrastructure to be nice so that I can sleep today, hope nothing breaks. That's how we feel while speaking. Hope, oh Baba, tonight let me make sure nothing breaks. I really have to travel tomorrow morning. So you previously were in that situation. Now you become, when something breaks, we understand it fast, we fix it quickly, and we fix it smartly, and we prevent the next time failure. This is how the culture is changing. And how much time it will take? Week 1, 0 cost because you are testing. Week 2 to 4, team learning. Month 2 and 3, first value, realizing ongoing savings and prevention. 2 months plus. Small upfront cost breaks even the investigation time, and full savings. So this is the biggest advantage, guys. Now you are not asking for, can we afford the DevOps agent? So now you would be saying in this phase, after 2 months, we can afford the DevOps agent, right? So that's how the culture changes. Future opportunities, guys. And I think I'm on the last slide here. Yeah, bear with me for 2 more minutes. As we continue to wrap up, guys, I want to paint a picture of where this is taking the market, where this is really heading. What I showed you today, instant root cause analysis, guys, that's just the beginning. In the next 6 months, guys, I'm telling you what will happen. AWS is working on automated remediation, guys. Imagine the DevOps agent not only identifies the problem, but also fixes it. It detects the database throttling issue. I have enabled auto scaling, and it increases the RCU to 100. The incident is resolved automatically, and it just comes and tells you, see, this is what I did. No waiting for human to decide. No guesswork about the right fix. Just done. Okay. Predictive prevention is also coming. DevOps agent learns the patterns over the time. It starts to say, based on your deployment history, this type of change leads to incidents 30% of the time. It recommends the code change. So what you are doing, you are preventing the incident before they happen. So long term, in 1 to 2 years, what happens? The vision is completely towards self-healing infrastructure. Self-healing means services are automatically scaling, patching automatically, remediating automatically. Most of the issues are taken care by system itself. What humans will do, we will make some architectural decisions and handle the novel problems. Machine starts handling the routine challenges. So that's not fantasy, guys. That's the direction the industry is moving. What this means for your career, I'm telling you now, to the core bottom point. Now, I can understand all of you are very much aspirants. Now, I spent nearly 20 years in the industry. You guys are still catching up with that. Maybe there are a couple of experienced folks. Instead of doing the firefighting, become the strategic operator. So that means instead of doing the firefighting, like doing so many things at a time, so you are not really going to wake up at morning 2 a.m. Are you? Really? Are you dreaming for it? You're not going to do a manual investigation. So you are designing a system, guys. That is where you have to gear up. You're going to design a system that handles the incidents automatically. Instead of doing the manual analysis, guys, you do AI augmented decision making. You're not doing the correlation. Look at metric, look at log, both are I'm comparing. This is what could be the issue. Let me go to the third point and check. No, you are interpreting what AI tells you, and you are just telling what needs to be decided on the strategy. That's how high level work we are moving towards. You should move towards. And don't be reactive, be proactive. Instead of reacting to incidents, you see the patterns of the logs and metrics, fix the root cause so that there are no more incidents. Improve the system design. So you move from stressed to strategic. On-call stops, weekend call stops, being terrifying with the on-call, you have a tool which is helping you. Your sleep would be better. Work-life balance improves. That's worth for something. So what I want you to do now, So when you leave today out of this webinar, I want you to talk to your team about AWS DevOps Agent, guys. If you are an SRE or if you are an operations guys, talk to your team about, hey, there is something called as AWS DevOps Agent. Run a pilot demo, which I just did now something. Start with one small non-critical application, give it 2 weeks and measure the impact. You will see the value immediately and you take it to the team. So if you are a development guy, if you are a developer, understand what better operations tool means for faster feedback on your code. So when your code causes the issue, the operations team can find and understand them instantly. So you get better signal on what works, what doesn't work. So now if you are a management guy, somebody who manages the team, so think about the ROI, return of investment. Faster incident resolution, reduced on-call burden, better retention, improved code quality. So these are quantifiable business benefit which you can bring it to your business and get the quota or approval, whatever is required. So the investment pays for itself in few weeks. So if you are none of the developer operations or management, stay curious about AI assisted operations. This is the direction the industry is moving and we cannot change it. It's a system. The organizations that adopts all these tools early will have a significant competitive advantage, guys. I'm telling you, in next 5 years, I believe the standard exceptions will be when the incident happens. We understand it in minutes, not in hours. We have the data-driven decisions, guys, not guesses, and we prevent issues proactively. So the teams that get there first will have the better uptime, happier engineers, lower operations cost, and faster innovation. So what else you need to be on the top of the industry, right? That's all I have to present you guys so far. I'm open to any questions. I think I took around 5 minutes more than what I agreed for, but I feel it would be worth. So let me go ahead and check if there are any messages on the chat. Okay. I can see the chat. Chat. No questions. Oh, good. I'm patting my back. I'm feeling like I did good. But guys, go and unmute yourself. And if you have any query, if you are unable to speak, maybe you are in some place where there is too much noise, put your question on the chat. I'll take it and I'll help you get the right solution.
Participants, if you have any queries, please do ask.
It's okay, anything on AWS. This agent was released in the month of November 2025, and 4 months it was in beta version, and on the 1st of April this agent was made alpha, available for general purpose. Till that time it was in beta version, no support. That means no guaranteed support as such. Of course, support was there very much because they want to improvise their tools. They wanted to. But now it is going to be making its history by achieving certain things, by being adopted by various folks. Now your turn is to learn this and be better among rest of the folks. Okay. So shall I take the lens? Okay, that's a question from Lingraj. Thank you, Lingraj, for sharing the feedback. Guys, go ahead
Uh,
and give the feedback so that any type of feedback, make sure you be constructive. Spend a minute or two. So that helps me a lot, guys, to improvise myself in terms of material, in terms of demo, in terms of speaking, anything. Feel free to be candid, and I'll really appreciate and thank you on that.
yeah,
Thank you.
Satish.
Over to you, Tanu.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you for the valuable time of you.
Yeah, we will wait for 2 minutes. If any
Definitely,
queries, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, we can answer. Yeah.
We can also stop sharing and ask for one more question, once again question, because people might be a little shy to get recorded. I'm just kidding.
Hi Satish, this is Anas from Infinite DevOps team. So
Yeah,
this specific session was for AWS agent, right?
AWS
I
DevOps agent. Yeah.
Yeah, AWS DevOps agent. So in particularly, we are working on Microsoft Azure
Mm-hmm.
currently. So
Okay.
in future, do you think we will be having an opportunity to have such kind of session on Azure as well?
Out of 10 years, I worked on Azure for 2 years. So, but the opportunity which I'm getting is more on AWS. But if you are interested, guys, if PBS, Pioneer Business Solution, makes me to work on it, definitely, it won't take much time, 3 to 4 days max. So I'll ask our folks to run some polling to understand if there are any folks who would like to understand how AI is incorporated in Azure. So that gives them good insight to arrange this, because all it matters is count, right? Based on that, they will do it, and they will broadcast the message about the upcoming uh, such event, webinar. But yeah, I got your point. Let me prepare something. It would be easy for me to understand the difference between the agents among the Microsoft and Amazon. Why I again shared the screen is you can go to the agent and you can add other clouds also. Somewhere, so Azure external identity provider. Okay, not the one. Pipeline. Add Azure DevOps I can configure here. GitHub Actions I can configure here. GitLab I can configure here. So that means this agent can connect to DevOps agent to your Azure DevOps organization to enable the pipeline and repository level investigations. Okay, definitely there should be something on Azure. I really specifically did not go there to find out. But yeah, this question makes me curious. I'll do it. Thank you.
Thanks, Satish.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. We trust that today's session was very beneficial for everyone. A special thanks to today's speaker Satish for sharing valuable insights and real-time expertise throughout the session. Your guidance and efforts are truly appreciated, Satish. Thank you.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you, Lingraj. Thank you, Tanu, and the whole PBS team. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Satish. We
Bye,
hope you
folks.
find
Take
the
care.
yeah. Yeah, Praveen.
Yeah, I have one question, Satish. Actually, this DevOps, when we're running the patches, right? Uh, whatever their developers are placing the files in the patches, it's taking more than 2 to 3 hours. So how can we avoid that to resume the time?
Whatever patching you are doing, it is taking more time.
Yes, yes.
We have to investigate that and understand why it is taking so long.
And sometimes if they are requested for full build, right?
Mm-hmm.
Full build means so there is some process layers levels files are there.
Okay.
So it will take more time. So more than 4 hours also.
That's what, as you saw me, you just pick up your application and give it to the agent. It has the way to identify the dependencies. It goes to
Yeah,
the
actually, I'm
individual.
not a DevOps, but I'm a developer.
Mhm.
But the thing is, so I just requested to them to give me the access to the this DevOps to trigger.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's really like if you are like show me the solution to control that kind of situations, it's really easy for the developers.
There is something called as infrastructure parameters and application parameters. What really happens is when you give the access to agent, it will
Hmm.
start correlating and capturing all those parameters. That's how it does. So first of all, the agent should have access to the environment where the application is hosted so
Yeah.
that it does all the correlation. And it's not a rocket science. Any agent can do it. All it
And
needs
what?
is an
Yeah,
access.
I understand. What happens if sometime build so developers will like maybe compilation issues or build issues will be there, right? If three
Mhm.
times is failure or 4 times is failure, right? Or 5 times it's failure. Then
Mhm.
once again, if we started, it will take 14 hours, 15 hours to complete.
Okay, okay.
You got my point.
I got it.
Yeah.
So the second time it is causing some more time. It's
Yeah.
all about the
Third,
response time where we have to tweak.
yes. But that I am unable to find that root cause.
That is when agent comes handy.
Mm.
There are certain things which we humans cannot go deep dive into the machine level and code level and do the correlation. That is when agents will take the lead. Check something which is evaluation copy. There are so many open source tools available. Even though you register for AWS initially, uh, for a few months, they will give it for free. You can give a try in the lower environment when the data is not much critical, but make sure you get the consent of the right stakeholders. And then if you're really able to crack it, definitely they'll appreciate you, your approach, and also think about having those kind of agents in place.
Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, Satish. That definitely I'll do it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you, Satish.
Yeah, most welcome.
Thank you, Praveen, for asking the question. Hope you got the solution for it. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone. We hope you found the session useful and gained meaningful takeaways from today's learning experience. I would
it's
request, oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it's really a good session actually from Satish. Thank you, Satish.
Okay,
Really,
welcome.
it's a really good session. Thank you, Satish.
yeah.
Thank you, folks.